Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. The last couple of videos, I really haven't been feeling it at all. I watched a couple of them back, at least partially, and what I saw was a guy who was kind of forcing videos out just because he felt like he had to release a video every week. I've realised that I really can't release a video every week as much as I try, because my life extends beyond YouTube, even beyond eBay. There's a lot going on recently. I just haven't had the time to sort of sit down, make, and then edit a video and release it once a week. And I found out my last couple of videos, I just haven't been myself. Although I'm trying to sort of articulate what I found or what have you. Ultimately, I wasn't really enjoying it, and I was just doing it for the sake of it, and that's not the point. That's not the point of this. It's meant to be enjoyable, so I've taken a little break, and hopefully I can come back fighting. So I'm not looking for sympathy, I don't want any of that. I'm just telling you that, you know, video production may be slower going forward. It is the summer. I want to be outside more, to be honest. I don't want to be stuck inside editing a video. I want to be spending time with my family. I just want to put it out there that I am trying to release videos, but they may not be as frequent as I've previously suggested they will be. That being said, let's get out of the way. This is the month of May, eBay and otherwise reseller roundup. So whilst previously I was doing it solely a sales video, I feel that the format should really be just a roundup of eBay reselling in general. Now, before we get into more of it, you've seen the title. My local Sunday morning car boot sale has been cancelled. Not permanently, I blimmin' hope, but for the last few weeks it hasn't been on. So I've said about a month ago, you may have seen the Brixham water issue. So Brixham is a coastal town not too far from me, not too far from where the car boot takes place, and much of the population of the town and further afield, they were affected by basically poisoned water. Some had some sort of bacteria had gotten into the water source, and people were being encouraged to boil their water from the taps before they drank it. Obviously that's a bit of an inconvenience, so rightfully so, South West Water have been handing out bottled water to residents. The thing is, they've chosen the car boot sale site as their sort of base of operations. I can't quite work out why they've chosen a field over a hard standing car park or similar, but for whatever reason, the car boot site is where they've chosen to sort of hand out this water, and it's ongoing. So even though it's probably disappeared from the media, from the news, it's still ongoing. And even though they're sort of occupying a small part of the field, the car boot can't take place because they are occupying part of the field, and the landowners give them permission and all that. So yeah, for the last month, I think it's been, yes, if it's cancelled this Sunday, it would have been 4 weeks on the trot that the car boot hasn't taken place. And I've got to be honest, the weather's been pretty good. So typical, when it returns, it'll probably be raining, but there we go. So yeah, video production has definitely been an all-time low. I haven't been charity shopping because, one, I've got a lot of stuff to get through anyway, and second of all, even though I have been looking a little bit, I just haven't been finding anything. So in terms of sourcing, I really haven't been, but that's good because I have a lot of stuff to get through that I just haven't gotten around to sort of processing and photographing and all that stuff. It's probably actually weirdly a good thing that I haven't got an incentive to go to the car boot sale. There are other car boot sales about, but like I've always said, I like the early morning ones because you can go to it, wake up early, go, come back, and I've got the rest of the day to enjoy doing family stuff rather than going to a car boot sale midway through the day, and then the day is kind of like fractured by the car boot sale. Plus, people wake up and then there's more competition, so it is what it is. So anyway, that's that. I know, slightly clickbait title, but it is, as I'm talking to you right now, 5th of June, it isn't on. Hopefully it'll be back in the next couple of weeks, but who's to say? Who's to say? And the Facebook group is not happy with what's going on. And I do sympathise with the organisers because it is out of their control. People saying, oh, why don't you just get another field? Why don't you just get another location? You know, when you think about public liability insurance and just the logistics of using another site, there's loads, they can't just say, oh, it's not happening today, but we're going to use such and such instead. It's not going to happen because these things take time to arrange, to process. People can't just, click their fingers and another site just magically appears. So yeah, people need to appreciate that. I can appreciate that. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. Just got to weather the storm for as long as it lasts. Anyway, that being said, let me talk you through a few of my favourite sales over May. May has been an okay month. Like I said, I haven't been putting much effort into YouTube. I haven't been putting that much effort into eBay, to be honest. I used to be at about sort of 330 listed items, sort of mid-April. I'm now down to about 280. So I've really just dropped off because I haven't really been listing much, but stuff still has been selling, bizarrely. So I'm not going to say if you don't list, you don't sell, because obviously you need stock to sell. But if you don't list for a couple of days, you still might get sales. It's not like you have to list to make sales. It's completely random. So let me talk you through a few of my favourite sales. I'll talk you through a couple of stinkers as well. And we'll just have like a nice chat about reselling over the month of May, including returns. I've had the most number of returns of any month in my reselling sort of career, I guess you could say. Not because stuff has been like item not as described, just because, I don't know, I think I've just been unlucky. But anyway, I'll get to that in a bit. Let me talk you through some sales. So starting off, this was a cool find. This is a vintage Sprayway Gore-Tex jacket. Now I've said before, I don't really like Sprayway, but paired with Gore-Tex, it seems to be quite a good seller. So I paid £8 for this in a charity shop, size large, nice vintage one, tape seams, all like the hallmarks of a quality hiking or outdoor jacket. That sold for £45 plus postage, so really happy with that. And this was interesting. So this was bought from a cancer research, I can't remember where. I think it was Dartmouth actually. Now normally there's quite a good clothing section in this charity shop, but there just wasn't anything. Wasn't anything in the men's, nothing in the women's. So I thought, okay, I'll check out the bric-a-brac. I'm glad I did, because I picked up this. Now this is, I'm going to have to read the listing here. It's an Eschenbach Mobilux, probably butchering that. Basically a handheld magnifier. It's like a magnifying glass, but with illumination through batteries, made in Germany. I guess it's for like reading small text and print or what have you, but actually they sell really well. So I only paid £2 for this. Just sat on the shelf, didn't know if it was working, got home, put batteries in it, worked without issue. That sold for £30 plus postage, and it didn't take too long to sell either. So yeah, always check the bric-a-brac section, and if something catches your eye, buy it if it's cheap enough. Give it a go, because you may be pleasantly surprised by how well it does. This was another sort of like on the whim sort of purchase. This is a pair of Will's Vegan Store leather brogues, except it isn't leather, it's like faux leather, like vegan leather. So I thought, well, you know, vegan is like an in thing. That sounds a bit harsh, but you know, veganism is very much sort of, you know, a buzzword currently. So I thought, okay, these might do quite well. Paid a £5. They sold for £25 plus postage. I thought that was fair. They weren't the best size, only a UK size 5. They did take a little while to sell. Would I pick them up again? I think if the price was right, I would. Probably wouldn't pay more than a £5 for them. But hey, there's a market for it, even though there aren't that many sold. But yeah, if you do see them and they're in good condition, they're a good price, pick them up. Right, I'm going to take a bit of a tangent to more of a negative sale now. I'm going to stop picking up Ping stuff. I'm also probably going to stop picking up FootJoy stuff as well. I'm finding golf clothing, regardless if it's trousers, polo shirts, long sleeve or short sleeve, jackets, for whatever reason just isn't selling that well currently. And I'm not talking about Galvin Green, because that's a much better brand, but the sort of staple golfing brands, they just aren't selling that well for me anymore, even though in the past they were. So yeah, I sold a Ping collection. It's a long sleeve polyester polo shirt, just a typical, yeah, golfing item really. I think I paid £3 or £4 for this in a charity shop. It's taken an age to sell. It's only gone for £12 plus postage. And there are a few things like that that I've sold during the month of May. I guess weather's getting warmer, people are looking for like polo shirts and, you know, lightweight jackets. But yeah, just not really achieving the returns that I'd like to. So yeah, I'm going to put those on hold for a little bit. Same goes for actually Sunderland of Scotland dolphin jackets. They used to sell fairly well for me, but for whatever reason recently they've just become super stagnant and no one wants them. So putting those on hold. Might buy them again in the future, but for now, not going to bother. Here's a staple though. I love picking up cargo shorts. If they're in like a known brand, there does seem to be quite a good following for them, quite a good demand for them even. So Fat Face is one of the best ones. So these are a pair of Fat Face Breakyard cargo shorts. Paid a £5 in a charity shop. They've gone for £25 plus postage. So it doesn't matter what the size is, as long as it's like a litre width, 32 or so. Yeah, thick cotton cargo shorts. Great demand for them. definitely worth looking out for them. This is probably one of my favourite sales of the month. So this is a pair of Lecky Super Makalu anti-shock walking poles. Found these in a charity shop. They were only a £5. I thought, you know what, I'm going to give these a go. The quality seemed really good. All the functionality worked well. The like, sort of extend aspect, and there's big bee just flown in. Still plenty of grip on the handles. Like I said, I paid a £5. They've gone for £45 plus postage, and I'm now actively looking for walking poles. But given they're quite long, they were surprisingly easy to pack. I fortunately got some. It's like polystyrene tube stuff. I can't even remember what came with this, or what was bought for the house. But anyway, these are really good for packaging walking poles. Cut a little hole in it. Pole slides right in. You can bubble wrap the handles and the point at the end so it doesn't burst through the packaging. But yeah, I love picking up walking poles now. I've got a few more that I'll show, I guess, in a future video I bought from like a jumble sale. But yeah, like some walking poles can do really, really well. And even like lower brands, they cost quite a bit new. So if you can find them second hand, as long as they're in good condition, there should be a good bit of profit there. So yeah, definitely on the lookout for walking poles. So if you're not afraid to like package something that's like sort of awkwardly shaped, then you're in the money. Now normally if a pair of shoes have like excessive wear to the soles, I won't bother, but these were an exception. So these are a pair of Dr. Martens, what's called the Voss quad strap sandals. I only paid £1 for these at a car boot sale. I thought, well, even though there's a lot of wear to the soles, I'm just going to give them a go because the tops weren't too bad at all. Now if they're in good condition, could have gotten £45 or so. They weren't, so I priced them at £30 and they sold within a couple of days, so I was super happy with that. So £30 plus postage. I did make the sort of the wear very clear in the listing, but yeah, they still were sold. So even if the footwear isn't in like tip-top condition, as long as you're buying the right thing, there is still a demand for it. So, but anyway, it's Dr. Martens, isn't it? There's always demand for Dr. Martens. Now this one I believe you would have seen in a previous video. So I picked these up from a car boot sale for £1. Pair of Cube World characters in the original packaging, but minus like the instructions and the rear sort of cardboard aspect of the packaging. It sold for £40 plus postage on the GSP. 40 quid. Could not believe it. And so I'm so glad I picked those up because they pretty much saved the car boot sale. So yeah, super happy with that. So Cube World seems to have a really strong demand for them at the moment. No idea why, because I sold them before and they've been a bit sticky. So if you see them and they work, even if they don't work, I guess, pick them up because there is definitely a demand for these things. Another brand I'm not picking up anymore. I've just sold my final couple of bits. And that's All Saints. Man, All Saints. I would have been over the moon finding All Saints stuff for cheap at a charity shop, car boot sale in the past. For some reason, I don't know if it's just me, it is not selling for me currently. Like ram skull stuff, graphic print stuff, doesn't matter what it is. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's become oversaturated or something, but I'm finding the stuff really, really hard to shift as All Saints. So again, for now, just going to avoid picking up until the market picks up again, or at least the supply decreases and then demand stays strong. I don't know, but for whatever reason, in my opinion, not worth picking up currently. Now, for me, one of the best feelings about selling something is selling an item that's been on sale for forever. I might have had watchers, might have had offers that aren't quite what you'd expect for it. It's just been lingering for absolutely ages. And I think this one takes the prize for the longest listed item on my shop. So this is a Pepsi sponsored Michael Jackson drinks bottle from the Dangerous World Tour. So 1993, so it's as old as me. It's in pretty good condition. It had a bit of sort of like graphics fading to the front, but otherwise good. I think I had this up initially for like 50 quid. 2 years ago. Like, I'm not even joking, it's taken over 2 years to sell. Finally sold, £34 plus postage, positive feedback received. So all's well that ends well. But my goodness, just it's the sort of thing that I guess I had enough faith in to keep pushing it and keep spending that 12p or whatever it is now monthly, eBay item listing fee. I mean, yeah, what would that have cost me in listing fees? Quite a bit, a couple of quid. No, that's not quite a bit, is it? But over time it does add up. But yeah, over 2 years to sell. This day and age, I would not even contemplate having an item on the shop for that long, unless it was something like so just niche but valuable that I'm happy to wait for the final price. To be fair, I did get it for free. My mother-in-law kindly gave it to me and said, you can sell this and give the money to the family. Well, I can now, but it has taken a while. I could have invested that money much better. But hey, these things happen. This was cool. This is my favourite find of the month. Favourite find, yes, sorry. Even though I said before I wasn't really picking up things, I did find this. Now, this is the second one of these I've sold this year, and it actually went to the same buyer. So, without getting too carried away, this is a Hot Wheels car. Good start. It's from a set called the Ultimate Track Set. It was released in 2003 in fairly limited numbers, and this car was exclusive to that set. So even though it's not a realistic model, it's like a fantasy casting that Hot Wheels have created, it's actually really desirable. I paid £1 for this one. It wasn't in like perfect condition, but wasn't too bad. That sold for £70, 70 plus postage. I paid £1 at this like market stall. And I saw it, I thought, honestly, my heart did about, it just increased in BPM by about 5-fold. I just could not believe it. This, you know, incredibly, well, it is a rare model was sat there, so bought it, listed it straight away, same buyer, bought it, positive feedback received, just how an eBay listing should go, how just a sale should go through, just, perfect. And I'm gonna just, again, take another tangent, because whilst that was going on, I was having a battle with returns. I had 5 returns within the space of 10 days, which for a part-timer like me, who's not listing a particularly high number of items, doesn't have a particularly high number of items listed on their shop, it's a large number of returns. So I actually made a video about this a couple of weeks ago. I wasn't happy with it. I wasn't happy with the way it turned out. Even after I edited it, I wasn't wearing a shirt that was like ironed or in a particularly good state, and I know some of you may have mentioned that in the previous video. Thank you very much. I don't have time to iron my clothes, come on. But yeah, I wasn't happy with the way the video came out. It divulged into a bit of a rant, and it just wasn't conveying the message that I wanted it to when I first started talking about it. So I had 5 returns. I had a pair of football boots that I've now resold. That's fine. They're a size 12, but they were actually like a size 11. They're a bit small. Hey, fair enough. I had a pair of walking boots that I advertised as a size 4. The sizing had all worn off on the inside. So I sort of did I just measured the sort of insole length, put them against another pair of boots that I knew what the size was, guessed it was a size 4, but from what the seller told me, sorry, from what the buyer told me, they were more like a size 3, but I appreciated that I'd given it a go, right? It's like, okay, yeah, fair enough, my mistake, took them back, and they've been listed again. I had a baby carrier returned to me as well, because, oh yeah, I put the recommended weight to the baby in the title. So babies obviously come in different sizes. Like, age isn't really as relevant, because you could have a baby that's born at, like, say, £10, and by 6 months they're, say, I don't know, £15, or a baby that could be born at £6 that's by 6 months is £10. You know what I mean? So it's more dependent on weight rather than age when they are very, very little. Put it very clearly in the title. It was between, I think it was like £16 to £33, and the buyer sent me a message saying, "Oh, my baby's too small." And I said, "Well, okay, but it will grow into it. Why just keep it for, you know, when they do?" No, I want to return it. I was like, oh, for goodness sakes, that's just people being stupid. And I had another return. I had a T-shirt that didn't fit. Said it was too large. I was like, well, what? Again, just read the description. So that irked me a little bit. But the main one, and I won't go into too much detail, but basically somebody bought a pair of headphones, a pair of wireless headphones, right? Very similar to these. These are the ones that I have myself. So a pair of Panasonic headphones. As you can see, they sit in this transmitter, and the transmitter plugs into your music source via a 3.5mm jack. So the range of the headphones is basically, I think it's about 30 meters, not too bad. So basically that transmits the sound, you hear it in the headphones, wireless, right? Wireless headphones. So I had a pair of Sony's, similar to this, that I sold. At no points in the listing, because it isn't true, did I say they were Bluetooth. obviously Bluetooth headphones, you pair it with your phone and you can go for a walk in the park and you're not like bound to where the transmitter is, right? The person that bought the headphones thought, just assumed that they were Bluetooth, even though at no point in the description did I say that they were Bluetooth, not in the recommended specifics, not in the description, not in the title, nowhere, right? So they said, oh, why can't I pair them with my phone? Because you have to plug in the 3.5mm jack into the lightning port on the adapter. Well, I want to go for a walk. Well, you can't because you're bound by the radius or the range of the transmitter. And they returned them, as item not as described, because I hadn't said that they weren't Bluetooth. Well, I hadn't said that they weren't Panasonic or Bose or Harman Kardon. Honestly, that really wound me up, because this person obviously has about 2 brain cells that are functioning, and neither of them were working when they purchased this item. So I have, for the first time ever, raised a reason not as described issue. That was about a week ago. I haven't heard anything back. I don't know if I am going to hear anything back. I might just have to like take it as a bit of a loss, take it on the chin and move on. But honestly, guys, these people are out there, and they are out there trying to scupper your eBay success. But that's it. I won't mention anything else. It's funny looking back, but ultimately it is really frustrating too, because this person just never assume. Like, I put so much information in the listing. If you want more information, just send me a message. Why have you assumed something that's not mentioned? So yeah, returns. No one's a fan of them. Fortunately, they're normally quite infrequent, but having sort of 5 at a time, yeah, I was questioning my my reseller status at that point. Anyway, a few more sales, then I'll wrap it up. So I finally, no, that's a lie, I've got 1 left. I finally used to whittle down my Vinted shoe purchases. Like I said before, I've stopped buying them now. I'll buy them for myself, but not necessarily to resell, because I just find the margins weren't there. This is one of the better ones, to be fair. So this is a pair of Nike Air Force 1 lows. What's called the Have a Nike Day Air Force 1. So Air Force 1 low. UK size 11. I can't remember what I paid for these. I don't think it was more than 15 quid all in. They sold for £65 plus postage. They are off to the authentication centre thing, so hopefully they pass that. I mean, the product code married up, stitching was all good. They'd been like worn, they hadn't been like, you know, faked and then just put in a box. So yeah, hopefully they pass and get onto the pass on even to the buyer. So fingers crossed there. These were cool. I bought these at, I think you would have seen them in the last video actually. These are a pair of Converse Chuck Taylor hidden wedge trainers, UK size 7, paid a £5. They sold for £45 plus postage. So yeah, really worth looking out for those. I thought they were just bog standard Converse when I bought them. Happy to pay a £5, but yeah, they're a little bit better than that. So super happy there. And we'll end with this one. This is one where I would pick it up again, but I paid way too much for it when I bought it. So this is a Mousqueton. It's a French brand. Couleur d'origine. I'll probably butcher that, sorry. Basically, it's a men's cotton like waterproof jacket with like an offset zip. It's got a weird like diagonal zip, like it was a bishop playing piece in chess. Like I said, I paid 15 quid for this, thinking it would sell quite quickly. Well, it hasn't, and it sold for £40 plus postage. So after tax and fees, I'm not making a huge amount there. But I'm glad it sold. I'm glad I made a little bit of profit, and it was a cool thing. I wore it a couple of times. It was, yeah, it was a nice jacket, but not really my sort of thing. So I moved it on, and then into June. So that's it. So like I said, it's a smattering of sales that I've had over the past month. Yeah, always adjusting my shop, always adjusting my sort of buying parameters, I guess you could say, because things that sell 1 year well may not sell the next year. Like I said, golf equipment, golf tops and stuff, they used to sell fairly well for me, like not a huge amount of profit, but would sell quickly. But now they're not selling quickly and the profit is even less. So yeah, not worth picking those up. You have to adjust with the times, trends, demands, etc. So I think I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. This will be the new format going forward. So it's not just sales, it's just like a sort of roundup of the month, how I'm feeling about reselling. I say May's been okay on the whole. The returns were a bit annoying. I haven't been fully focused on eBay to the level of which I was previously, but it's been all right. Given my lack of input, it's been okay. So I'll take that, and hopefully June can be a bit better. It's been okay so far. I just need to keep listing more things. I need to get that eBay shop count back up to at least 300, just a peace of mind, really. I just like it to be above that. Anyway, I digress. I'm waffling. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Until my next one, which will be along when I can. No pressure on me. It'll be along when I can. It might be along fairly shortly. It might be longer. Bear with me. I've got a busy life, as we all do. So yeah, until then, take care. I'll see you then. Goodbye.